All right. This is going to be a little bit off the cuff. I don't normally do this, but I felt like I really had to. And Cyllya did a lot of research on this for us, so I don't want to put that research to waste. This is about our man Gallagher. Now, there's a lot of theories on this guy, and people are saying, "Oh, his age is 13. That must mean he's the tarot card 13, the card of death, right?" And hey, after you beat 2.1, kind of makes sense. I think that's I just think it's coincidence. All right, I'm gonna tell you why. March asked, "How old are you?" He says 13. Why would he say, "Oh, I'm the tarot card of death"? She asked for the age. His name. It makes no sense that he's saying, "I'm the tarot card of death" or tarot card of death. No, I think he meant his age was 13. But 13 what? Years, decades, centuries, amber eras. Amber eras like anywhere from 74 to 240 years. And I don't know how many amber eras there were in this universe so far. So maybe it's 13 dog years? I'm sticking with dog years or something akin to that. Because this guy, has such a dog persona. Everything about him is very canine like. Cyllya mentioned this right here. In the White Knight trailer, I'm going to mute this. At 21 seconds, I'm going to play this right here. I'll put it a little bit because it's a banger song. You see that? Let's go back. Let's go back. What is going after Misha here? Something is on the ground, probably on all fours. We see something like a snout charging him. Tackles him. Bam. Gallagher. Or Gallagher. He's right there. Was he playing Doggo? Charging at Misha? I mean, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Maybe I'm not. Also, let's look at his attire. There's a lot about him. How do I zoom in again? Okay, there we go. Very, like, he has dog paws inside of his cape. Dog paw, top of his flask, right? And somebody on Reddit found this. I don't know what would make you think of looking at the bottom of his shoes. Dog paws on the bottom of his shoes. Hey, maybe the guy has a thing for dogs, right? Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe we're reading too much into it. Let's look at his information. Look at his story. Number 4. Yes, actually, no, we're going to stick with the dog first. Because I want to make sure we do this in the proper order. We're going to go to the bookshelf. In the Zhangshao area, list of arch enemies. Abomination Scroll, the Borsians. What is a Borsian? The Borsians are the oldest nemesis of the Alliance and the main constituent of the denizens of abundance. Abundance. Gallagher's an abundance character, right? The planet of origins remains unknown. However, judging by the genetic screen results, the Borsians share a common ancestor with the Foxians. Yet the two have diverged onto a different path. Foxians, kind of canine, fox ears, you know. Foxians' epics tell of how the races were divinely inspired by the Lord of Longevity from beyond the stars. Drinking from the Red Spring, they were granted immortality, so long life species. But later historical developments saw the Borsians consider the Voxians as slaves or cannon fodder, fueling the desire to conquer the stars, warlike race. Physiology. The Borsians have a distinct canine anatomical structure, broad, slender skeletons, powerful jaws and neck muscles, well-developed fangs, pointed ears atop the skull, sharp claws. Sharp claws in the hands and the foot. And then there's also, let's see here, alongside their hyperhealing is their ability to shapeshift, known as moon madness by the Borsians. This ability has also been observed very rarely in some Foxians, apart from the Foxians in the Yao Qing. Shapeshifting is accompanied by intense hyperplasia of the hyperplasia of the bone and muscle structure, such as a protruded snout and jawline, and the twisting of the foot structure. This damaging deformation process is eventually completely restored by the porcine's rapid healing ability. So let's just say werewolves, moon madness, full moon, they get more wolf-like werewolves. But how old would Gallagher need to be like 13 dog years or Borzian years, right? Well, let's go back to the character. Information, story, character story part 4. We're going to skip to the second line or second paragraph where he's talking to a patron. He reminisces about the golden years when he yearned for freedom despite his captivity. Together, they fought against oppression and entrusting their lives to one another. They dream of a free land. They may die any moment, yet acted as if they already held countless wonderful tomorrows within their grasp. However, there were not enough of them to fight back. Familiar friends perished one by one, ideals crumbled, and atrocities prevailed. Is that something you lived through? You must be kidding, right? The guest interrupts his gloomy soliloquy. Of course not. How could it possibly be true? He smiles and resumes his work. Gallagher is the most truthful lie. Sometimes I can't even distinguish between him and myself. Note, Gallagher. So, the guy's been through wars, atrocities. If we were to remember his conversation with Sunday, Gallagher mentions, you, the family, you broke my spine and pulled out my fangs, and now you want to accuse me of murder. Ridiculous. Only idiots who've drunk too much, so glad, will berate a stray dog on the streets. Later, Sunday calls him, you wretched, despicable dog. In the earlier scene, Gallagher says, I gave up like a lost dog. And thank you for listening to this old dog bark and all. Now, in a bubble, it's not a big deal. But when you combine all these things, especially you pulled out my fangs, broke my spine, that kind of stuff, I'm leaning more and more that he might be a Borzian. He might be Doggo, the best Doggo. I dislike an image of a dog's kind of like laying in a pool in Penacony, dreaming of of the body of Gallagher's. Right? Like this doggo in a pool asleep. I like that idea. Because we never seen Gallagher outside of Penacony. Well, outside of the dreamscape Penacony. There's a little bit more. His voice lines. Annoyances. Oh wait, let me actually, because I got the volume way down.
Flavor, but they don't get past
Yeah. Annoyances.
Subpar beverages and desserts usually hide behind chocolate to cover up their inferior flavor, but they don't get past me. It's probably because I can't stand chocolate.
Chocolate is poisonous to dogs. Dogs can't eat chocolate. And was there hobbies?
Making a drink is
No, it wasn't hobbies.
Subpar
There's something else.
beverages and desserts
Oh yeah, about Misha.
Misha's a sensible kid. Me? At his age, I was just a little terror. Biting everyone in sight.
I didn't notice that before. You get biting everyone in sight. Rawr. He actually does the rawr part. Oh, and Cyllya would like me to point out that the fact that he knows of Misha is a big deal. Because apparently not everybody could see Misha. Think about it. We saw Misha. Misha talked to us. And then March interrupted Misha while Misha was talking to us very rudely. Didn't even acknowledge he was there. Maybe March is just a mean person. When the gangsters were kind of like picking on Misha, they weren't picking on Misha. They're picking on Acheron. They didn't even look at Misha. And then when we're telling Acheron about Clocky, Acheron says, well, I did kind of sense some kind of something beside me. And she looks in the direction of Misha, not Clocky. But Gallagher could sense Misha. So There's something pretty major there. I don't know what the hell Misha is. I just kind of wrote off Misha as a character I don't even want in the game, but there might be something pretty wicked there. Now, was there anything else I'm missing here?
Mm,
I think that's pretty much all the information we got off of Gallagher. I believe that the 13 being the tarot card of death is just a coincidence. It doesn't make sense that he would say that just to reference the tarot card of death when Mark says, "How old are you?" 13. That's an age. He meant it as an age. We just don't know 13 what. Like I said, years, decades, amber eras. 13 what? We also know that he knows, or is at least acquainted with, the guy that started the revolution going on in Pentagon. You know, that freed the prisoners. That happened a long time ago. He's linked to that. I forget what was it like a little less than 1,000 years, I think it was.
yeah, it's been a little vague.
It's not vague exactly how long, but it was a long time ago, and Gallagher has some links to the people involved there. So my guess is Gallagher is actually Doggo. Doggo, or I'm sorry, Borzian. I want to keep saying Doggo. And they're followers of the abundance, long life species. But we do know Gallagher is he's hoofing it with the Ignitimata right now. The Ignitimata wanted to pretty much wipe out known history or recorded history. I have no idea what he's doing right now in Penacony, but Borzian seem to be a very warlike race. Gallagher has a pretty horrendous background from what we could gauge. So that's all I just really wanted to point out. He is a Borzian, probably crippled, because he did mention his spine was broken. Now he's laying in a tub, acting as a security guard.
Well, if he's a Boris, then he's probably not crippled just because they got super hearing or super healing.
True, they probably broke his spine, not realizing he could heal. Plus,
Yeah,
he's the disguise of like, what, 54 of the family members?
Yeah.
We know they could transform on the full moon into like full doggo mode. We don't know the extent of his transformation abilities though.
Hmm.
So there we go. I just want to put out there Gallagher, Borzian, best doggo. Has nothing to do with the tarot card of death. That is a red herring. And he is 13. We just don't know 13 what. So I'm going to leave it there. Later.